everyone, this is Anne from Odulcina Scrap. Today it's the flip through of this junk journal. I don't know if you can recognize it, but you'll see. We did the structure together in the previous last video, and now it's a full flip through. So it's a hardcover book that I recovered, and I love to put layers on the cover, not necessarily gluing it through it all. So you're gonna see it's layers again. I'm using one of the gorgeous polka dot sari silk that I have, and just as a closure. So that is the cover. I'm gonna remove that and come back to it. So I glued one of the Crafty Me shop lace. It's kind of a doily, and it's a vintage doily. So from her CMS collection, and on top of that I've been adding layers. So I had that paper that I glued together, so it's two regular pages that I glued together, folded and decorated like that, and I attached another paper that has one of the labels from my kit. So it's really simple. It's just a matter of getting the inspiration, I guess. And on the paper clip, I've added like sewing little charms that I rusted with the peroxide, salt, and vinegar recipe that we find on the internet. So, okay, so this is kind of a floating page. And on top of that, I've added one of my embroideries. This was done with a long time ago, so on fabric that I printed on with my DeskJet printer. But I now have that same pattern. Size is pretty much the same. Printed on fabric industrially so it can take water. And I did some ribbon, silk ribbon roses. So there's a whole tutorial for that, and I'm gonna put in the description below the link to the tutorial. Inside the cover, I've put my sample and inventory card, and I've glued my collection of polka dot sari silk. So there's blue, green, peachy, beige, and light pink. So I thought it was a good idea. It's kind of an inventory or samples of the available polka dots. And I have those available in different, except the pink. I'm out of stock, but I'm gonna get some eventually. They're in my bundles of sari silk in my Odulcina journals shop. So the first section, the first signature was that cover with a bag and an envelope that I did in the previous video. And yeah, so this was already decorated, but I filled the pockets and everything. And I filled the pockets with a new digital kit that I've created because, you know, I love laces and I want to create those books of lace collections or lace keepers so I can keep some samples of my favorite laces and use them as a memory, you know, when I want to hold on a specific lace because it's getting really short in my inventory and I can place them and just look back over the years to see, oh, I had that lace and that one, and we cannot keep them forever, right? So I've created a new digital kit that goes with my lace collection book. And it's like a little bit the button cards that I have, but for laces. So lace maker, and you have the price, Victorian lace, and you have some backgrounds, you have different colors, and there's some words. And anyway, at the end of this video, I'm gonna put a video of showcasing the digital kit for the lace collection, and I'll put the link of the digital kit in my Etsy shop, which is brand new. I've put one of those ladies reading a book as kind of a pocket. And see, I've used a little piece of tatting, and I've used one of the labels. So in the kit, I have a bunch of labels: cotton, linen, silk, applique lace, guipure lace, crocheted lace, there's tatting lace, and you have them in 2 different colors. So if you prefer a lighter beige, grayish, or the coffee stain kind of. Anyway, so I've used tatting here to identify that lace. I don't always have the price, so that's the thing, right? And this is a card, a little bit like the button card, but I stapled a lace and I've put the price. And it goes like that. So you're gonna see I've used them a lot because it's kind of a lace collection book that I converted it to. So this is another kind of card where you can put the brand. So it's a CMS lace, and it's a vintage one. So I checked the vintage box, and I've put the price, and the price is by the yard, by the meter, or by the unit, and then the year that I bought it, and I glued a sample of that. So those flowers are one after the other, sold by the yard, and this is just samples. So this is from the sample and inventory cards, because you can see it as an inventory or samples. So just a good display of laces there, and I just used some tiny paper clips to hold them there. Here I just glued one of the samples, the cards, but my piece of lace was bigger, so that card is glued to the paper and the lace is glued on top. And honestly, this is cute, eh? It makes the page. Here, it's one of the French documents that I have as a digital. So I glued a piece of another lace there. And here it's an embroidered lace. So I identified it. And here, I've used the card, but I didn't write down anything yet. But it's a little cluster of silk ribbons, roses that I did in the past. I always find it so cute. So I want to keep some for myself in my own stash inventory. This card, I glued it there. Yeah, it's glued there. But again, it's let me show you. It's a lace maker. Some I did fancy ones with roses in the background, but those cards, you have them in blue, in green, coffee stain, vanilla, with flowers, so pink, soft pink. So you have different, you print the ones that you want based on your taste. Anyway, it's lace maker, 100% cotton, and you can put the price there. I didn't figure out all the prices. I need to dig into Crafty Me Shop, a Facebook group, to get all the prices. So yeah, embroidered lace here, and it's just kind of an applique, but it's embroidered. It's not like a typical applique. And inside I've just glued another. These are mostly all, I think they are all Crafty Me Shop. There might be few exceptions, but everything you see here, it gives you a good array of what are Crafty Me Shop laces. Especially most of them are CMS lace, so CMS exclusivity, so that this means Crafty Me Shop, so for CMS, Crafty Me Shop, and they're vintage because she bought the whole inventory of a clothing manufacturer in the 80s. Anyway, so I glued a bunch. Again, I glued that one, and I glued the lace that touches everything. The symbol should be inside the design, but you can do like me. Just a cute tracing paper that has been printed on. It's a legal size paper, but printed on letter size format, so it makes it less large than the typical letter size paper. And I've used one of the fussy cut ladies, the Victorian ladies. I've put one of the labels there. So this would typically be a talk spot. I didn't put anything, but and here I've put a Crafty Me Shop lace, and I just glued one row here of glue, but I didn't write down anything yet. This is, it's a copy of an old receipt, all in French. This is from one of my digital kits, and I've put just a piece of lace on it. Isn't it cute? The contrast of the white and the blue. I love it. And here it's just a bigger piece of lace from Crafty Me Shop. I've put a tag there, but eventually I'm going to need to write down something. Another sample of those gorgeous ribbons with embroidery on it, the silk ribbon embroidery. This is from Crafty Me Shop. She has a whole collection. She has pretty much all the colors, actually. And in the middle, well, again, I made a sample of different things. So it's kind of a fake tatting, like an industrial lace, but vintage, mimicking the tatting. Some seam binding. This is real tatting from my collection. This is from my mom. So it's in my family for many years. And this is my fancy yarns that I did a knot here so they hold well together, and I just glued the pom-poms, and it all holds well. I love the style that it gives when you open that page, seeing different styles and different kind of yarns and seam binding and everything. I love it. Doesn't need to be only laces, right? So there's a belly band here, and I didn't put anything, but that could be kind of a, I don't know. I can put more. See, there's a blue there. I can put more, and it can be kind of a stash of cards to add more laces. So here on that music sheet page, I just glued that sample card, and again the Crafty Me Shop silk ribbon embroidered lace, not lace, ribbon. And I've put one of my little houses that I had done, and I loved it, and I just wanted to put it there, but I didn't want to glue it, so I've used an eyelet so I can move it, and I can flip it a little bit, or literally move it right down my stuff and put it back there. So I've put an eyelet here, and I attached some tiny labels and fancy yarns. Isn't it cute? I love it. And here, this is part of the new kit. You have some labels like that. Vintage lace, and it's lace collection there. Another sample that I glued, and it's waiting for whatever there. I've used a card too, and some of the sample and inventory cards. This one is part of the same collection than the covers. This one and this one. and I just used it in the top spot there. I've added a bag glued on this page to cover the white. You know, the back was all white, so I glued the bag. I didn't put anything yet, but just added a cute bow of the fancy yarns that I have. I glued another cluster of embroidery with silk ribbons. This is a vintage, maybe antique card. I have a pile of those, a little stash that I got in an antique shop. And I just thought maybe I could just put samples of yarns there. So it's a lace, and this is the frizz cotton that's in most of my bundles of sari silk sometimes. So I use the cards as a sampler. And here just added this. So I'm pretty much there now to complete. I've put a bag so I can put maybe labels there. This is the blue because it goes a little bit with the paper, but I need to keep going on here with adding more laces. But see, I'm at that point. But there's one thing I wanted to show you that's part of the new kit. These are pages where I've printed it smaller so I can trim it and fit it in a page. But let me show you. It's like this page where you would technically fold it. So in the kit you have the back that you can print matching the colors. So this is the greenish one, and you can just use it like that as pages if you do a journal, but then you can trim them or print them a little bit smaller and use them as cards. So you have the equivalent, those two cards being one on each side. So a card like that, and I think I folded one. I can show you the pink one, yeah. So you have the pink one that but this book is so small that even if I printed it a little bit smaller, it was still too big. So I glued one, I folded one, and it's gonna be in a pocket. But that's an idea. So you can put the price there, the date, the provider information. So it's a Crafty Me shop. CMS vintage collection. It's $10 Canadian by yard. There you go. So to be continued, but for now that will be it. So I don't know if I'm the only one really appealed with lace collection and that kind of stuff, but I can tell you I love it. I just love it. It gives me like a real purpose to my junk journal. And I love that. So go have a look at the new kit. If you're like me, you're gonna love it. And that's the back of the journal. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.